In this week's parsha, the Meraglim, the spies, come back from spying Eretz Yisrael, and they tell the Jewish people the land is no good. It's no good. And part of what they say is that if we enter that land, our women and children will be taken captive immediately upon entry. They'll be taken captive. We can't do it. And of course, Hashem becomes angry with them. Hashem says, how dare you speak Lashon Hara against the land of milk and honey, the land that I want to give you as a gift. And as a punishment, Hashem tells them, you won't be able to enter that land. All of you, from above the age of 20, will have to die in the desert over the next 39 years. And then Hashem says, and the children that you claimed will be taken captive, they will enter the land of Eretz Yisrael, not you. Clearly, the statement was a criticism. But immediately after that, Hashem tells Moshe to command Bnei Yisrael in two mitzvahs. The mitzvah of Nesachim, pouring wine onto the Mizbeach, and also the mitzvah of Rashas Challah. And Rashi explains why these two mitzvahs. Rashi says because these two mitzvahs are only relevant in the land of Eretz Yisrael, and Hashem wanted to remind them and encourage them that don't worry, your children will enter that land. And my question is, how is it possible that the very same message that before was a criticism is now supposed to be encouraging? Before HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them, the children that you claimed will be captive, they will enter the land of Eretz Yisrael, not you. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to be encouraged by the fact and the knowledge that our children will end up coming into the land of Eretz Yisrael. So before I answer this question, I want to demonstrate a very, very important idea in communication. Here is a sentence. I want you to read it, 3 seconds, and tell me, is this a positive statement or a negative statement? Now the answer is yes. If you said positive, you're correct, and if you said negative, you were also right. Because it really depends how you say it. The statement reads, let's go to the store now. I can say it, let's go to the store now! I sound pretty annoyed. I'm stressing and emphasizing every word. Or I can say, let's go to the store now, very excitedly and very quickly. It really depends on the tone of voice and how I stress and emphasize these words. It's really how I say it that will make the difference between a positive statement and a negative statement. But how about this one? This statement, even if I would say it very slowly and sound as annoyed as I can sound, it would still be taken as positive. I'm going to lend you my car. I could say, I am going to lend you my car. And it would still be positive. But it's not always positive because you have to look at the context. I can say, I'm going to lend you my car because I love you. Or I can say, I'm going to lend you my car despite the fact that you didn't lend me your car last week when I asked you to borrow it. So, tone of voice is very important. Context is also hugely important. There's another factor though. How about the following statement? I tell my friend, I say, you never ever spend time with me. Can you take me out for lunch? Sounds pretty negative. It sounds like I'm blaming. I can change that statement and I could say, well, we never ever go out for lunch and spend time together. How about we go for lunch? It doesn't sound as negative. You know why? Because I've changed the subject pronoun. Instead of singling you out, I've included myself in it. And that can change it from a negative to a positive as well. So I call these 3 factors CPR. Context, pronouns, and raising your voice. And amazingly, if you look at the Pasuk, all these 3 factors are present when Hashem commands Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the Jewish people that their children will enter the land of Eretz Yisrael. Context, Hashem says, you know why I am telling them this mitzvah? Because I want them to enter that land and do mitzvahs. It's a positive. Whereas before the context was not like you said that they'll be taken captive. Now it's in a totally different context, which makes a huge difference. Also, number 2, pronouns. Hashem doesn't single out the children. Hashem includes everybody else. Ki savayu, and all of you will come, despite the fact that he's referring only to the children, but he's not singling them out. And of course, the most important, Hashem tells them, Dabra b'nei Yisrael, he says, Moshe Rabbeinu, speak to the Jewish people, Amar ta'aleim, tell them softly. Soft tone of voice, which is hugely important. So if you take these three factors into account when you communicate, you will see that it makes a world of a difference. It's not what you say, but it's really how you say it.